welcome to Hand of Heaven, real people, real stories, all God. I'm your host, Jen Wilhite. So you saw Cole's grandma that you've never met.
Right.
That's so cool.
Right.
That's so cool.
You know, like I said, several other sacred things, but a lot of people express different ways that God talks to them. Mm-hmm. And maybe they say, you know, God told me, and I know different beliefs believe different things. Mm-hmm. Do I believe God could talk directly to me? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But we believe, right, that he talks through the Spirit, through angels, through experiences, that he's telling us something this way and that way. There's multiple ways to hear God,
right,
and how he's communicating to us what we need to learn, what we're feeling, you know. Just
and it doesn't matter
helping us
what
through.
you believe, like God
Right.
is there for everyone. Like
Right.
God will, if you reach out to him, 100% of the time he will reach back. Like he will
Right.
help you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he expects.
Yeah.
Is us to reach out.
Yeah, I love that.
Because he is always there, even if we don't.
And there's a lot of lessons I think we learned in that. You know, he's not going to solve all of our problems.
Sure.
He's not going to, you know, people look at Abby today and go, that's not a miracle. You didn't get a full
Made
recovery
whole.
of your body.
Right.
Like her right arm still doesn't work. She
Right.
walks with a
limp.
limp.
Right.
She doesn't
My
have,
balance isn't great.
isn't great.
Yeah.
I'm not running.
Yeah.
But it's still a miracle because a C3-4 quadriplegic is,
I was told I would not
Okay, so
walk.
Okay,
would
so help
not
us with that.
Breathe.
Yeah.
So I actually breathed on my own on the life flight. I was breathing on my own, but it was labored.
very labored, and they didn't want the body to have to stress
Use
about
so much
that.
energy
makes
to
sense.
breathe.
So they,
Yeah.
they put her on a
So they
ventilator.
did intubate, and so then I wake up,
She can't
tubes in my
talk.
mouth.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I don't know. I've got this thing on my head yet, and I can only see this very
Yeah.
limited. You
And
know,
can't move your
right?
head.
Can't move.
Yeah.
And of course, then there's that again, waking up from like, where am I? What's going on? Seeing my parents, his parents, and them telling me that I'm paralyzed. So,
The hard
and
part.
I'm feeling this tube in my mouth, and I'm like, how am I supposed to communicate? And
Yeah, you can't even talk.
but my first thoughts, and this is one of my main messages when I share this story, is gratitude, because, you know, things can always be worse. Mm-hmm. And my first was, I'm so grateful to be alive. Oh. First.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. That's your first thought.
My first thought is I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. And then next was seeing them and him and being grateful that they were there.
Oh, Abby,
That I
that's
had them.
cool. That your first thoughts were gratitude.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's God too. You know, putting that in
100%.
your heart, that like,
It wasn't first, woe is me.
right, or mad,
Oh,
or
my
anger,
word.
or
Like,
how
what
did
am
this
I going to
happen?
do?
Right.
Why am I paralyzed? Like, right now, a week before my wedding? Really?
right.
You know,
Yep.
kind of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that came.
Yeah, sure.
Don't get me
of
wrong, I'm
course.
human.
Yeah.
That came, but it was first like, oh, wow.
Oh,
And then reality starts to sink in, right? And I'm sure
Yeah.
you experience that too. It's like the shock and then the reality, but it really, and I don't say this to brag or anything, but having the faith as the foundation of my life and previous experiences and knowing prayers are answered, having seen miracles before,
Yeah.
I had something to go off of. I wasn't like, oh, I've never seen a miracle, so I don't think it can happen.
right. You had faith.
I
like,
had
right from the
faith and I'd
get-go.
witnessed. So, you know, kind of going back to where I'm from, Cokeville, and that's where we were headed, right, for my cousin's
Yeah.
wedding reception. That was a huge miracle. And I'm not going to share that whole story because it's huge in of
Yeah.
itself. But being from there, witnessing our whole elementary school get held hostage with a man with a bomb, my little brother being in there with all my cousins. My cousin whose wedding we went to, yeah, she's my brother's age. She was in there too in
Wow.
4th grade.
Yeah.
That whole, I had 7 cousins in there. Everybody knows everyone. Everyone's close. Everyone's family. I mean, it's just
Small town,
close knit. So having witnessed our collective prayers, and, I was in 7th grade, and when it all was happening, our principal called everybody to the auditorium, and being a mostly LDS community, but even those who weren't all had a similar belief, right, in God and prayer.
Yeah.
We all came together and we prayed.
I love
And
that.
I know the outcome of those prayers, and they continued, right?
Yeah.
And everybody praying, and as word got out to family all over as it was happening, just collective, and that collective faith, that the power of prayer, and seeing the miracle that came from, even though the bomb was detonated and all the things, and that again is a whole other story.
So that is, for those of you who aren't familiar with that story, it's incredible. T.C. Christensen actually made a movie about it, right?
Right.
Cokeville
The
Miracle.
Cokeville
Miracle.
Miracle.
The Cokeville Miracle. So go look it up. That's incredible.
Yep.
So you were in 7th grade at this time. So you
Yes.
had seen miracles.
Yes.
You're like, I've seen God answer immediate
Yes.
prayers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that bomb was made to level the entire wing of that building and take all of those children.
Oh my gosh.
And because for unexplainably
Mm-hmm.
only 15%, I think, don't quote me on that, watch the movie. It's that.
Watch the movie.
Of the bomb went off, and they do the whole investigation, and they're looking at it like,
We don't know.
There's no
why.
way.
we don't know. And so, and all of the angels that those kids did witness and felt, and all of those stories,
Yeah.
that was so powerful in my life, to have that. I know it happens. And I knew that it could happen for me. I didn't even, I'm not good enough for a miracle, or,
Right.
I know some people might say I'm not worthy of those blessings, or I'm
Right.
not worthy
Or he won't
of
do that for
those
me, or-
answers,
yeah.
No, I was very confident.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I'm stubborn, determined, and
Yeah.
I'm confident
Right.
that as a daughter of God, I'm just as worthy of that kind of miracle. So those prayers, the first blessing my dad gave me in the ambulance,
Right.
and just short and sweet, and placed me in my Heavenly Father's hands. And his, when he asked who wanted to give me the blessing before my surgery,
Yeah.
I know he was hesitant and didn't feel
I was 21.
right,
gosh, you were a
to be
baby.
like, this
Yeah.
in my hands. She's completely paralyzed, and what am I going to say? What,
Right.
But
well, and probably you had so much of your heart wrapped into it too, right? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is a big deal. This is the person you
I don't want to
love
say
the
the wrong
most.
thing,
Right.
or what if I,
Yeah.
And we did talk about that on the way here. Actually, I said, I've never really thought about this, but I don't, because of the emergent state I was in, like critical care. I don't remember. I know I asked you to give me that blessing, but I don't remember what you said. Do
said.
you? And
There's a few things I remember, and I think
Okay.
I've shared one of those about just ministering angels.
Yeah.
That they are there, and just ask that they be with her,
Yeah.
and that the surgeons be guided to perform to their best, and that we just at the end of the day that we have faith that everything will be okay.
Wow.
and those
So those are the
the
things-
ministering angels.
The ministering angels was, just a very neat and humbling experience. Just bore witness to me that they are real,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm grateful for that experience. So I don't share that a lot because it's
Sacred.
sacred, but
What's cool about that is like we're taught that, we learn that, we believe that.
Yeah.
But until it happens to you and you actually feel that, like now you know that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so many things with our experience that I'm like, I always believed it. Like I had faith in that, but now I know that.
know that, and that's the key. Is those are certain things I'll never be able to deny.
Right.
That,
Right.
that happened because
Yeah. You've experienced
I've
it.
experienced it. I've lived it. I felt it.
And I think there's something to be said there about the difference of believing and knowing.
Yeah.
Right? There are still some things that I don't have a sure knowledge of yet,
Right.
as far as the whole plan and
How it all
all the ins
works.
and outs,
Yeah.
right? But there are definitely things that before this I believed, and now I know. being told I never would walk, that I was completely paralyzed, that I wouldn't even get off the ventilator, which, so going back to that, I was intubated first. After that first surgery, they went ahead and did the trach.
Yeah.
So that I had my mouth to, at that point, still your voice doesn't work.
Right.
And
But
I
at
could
least you
mouth the
can
words.
lip read.
Right. But so I'm on this ventilator and they're saying, you'll never get off the ventilator. You'll
Like your
never,
whole life?
Right. They are like,
Whoa.
you won't ever
Breathe on your own.
walk. You won't ever breathe on your own. You'll probably end up, if you make it, like at that point, there was still a risk of dying.
Sure.
And so if
Yeah.
you make it and you end up in a full care facility because you'll never go home
Yeah.
and die in a few short years, but you'll never get off the ventilator. And this severe of an injury, your whole body will eventually, break down, things, all of that. Like it was not great.
Yeah.
There
and
was,
to look at you right now and to know that you were told that 30 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a miracle.
Yeah.
There's no denying. God is so good.
and
Like
I
that's a
say,
miracle.
you can't tell while I'm sitting here, but like you said, so just to explain to everyone,
Yeah.
and we'll kind of go back and explain how all this came, but it's almost like a stroke. I look like
Okay.
a stroke victim or have had a stroke.
Yeah.
I don't like saying victim. But because I present like a stroke.
Like one
patient.
half of your body.
Because
yeah.
it's my right side versus most spinal cord injuries go up, like you'll get some recovery and you'll get both shoulders and then maybe both arms a little bit.
Okay.
And so that will kind of go down evenly. And for whatever reason, mine
just that
is like totally one side, like hemiplegic almost. Because my prognosis was quadriplegic,
Yeah.
I am deemed a walking quad.
So she was completely paralyzed for about
Well, I was in critical
critical
care for 2 weeks.
and then we were
Okay.
transferred down to the rehabilitation unit. In critical care, she didn't get any feeling.
No,
she got some
hold on.
sensation back
Sensation.
in her upper shoulder.
Okay, but no movement.
But
No movement.
and what happened that actually shocked the doctors? At first, I could feel this.
The tops of her
top of my
shoulders.
left shoulder
Okay.
I could always feel
It's nor-
Sensation.
and it's
from day
normal.
one, and it's normal sensation. But it kind of cuts down to where the top of my left shoulder,
Okay.
I can feel, and I could shrug it. I could
Oh,
barely
interesting.
shrug that left shoulder. So with the trach, going back to that, they would
Clean
keep
it out.
keep it clean, right? They
Right.
daily would use some saline solution, clean it off, make sure that didn't get infected. And so one day the nurse had cleaned it off and it was just my mom in there sitting by me. And, and up to that point they would do periodic come in and test sharp and dull. They, I don't know if you're
Yeah, the
familiar
little
with
tools,
the
yeah.
little tool, sharp and dull. And they would say, okay, we'll do these tests. She will tell you she can feel, even though she can't. That's what they told my family. And so, the power of suggestion
it
or
kinda like
something, like kind of
fountain?
want
Well,
to.
and when it first started,
Sensation.
she really couldn't.
I really couldn't.
She couldn't
But as
feel.
time moved on, they would do these. I couldn't feel. Well, one day, after they cleaned that, I'm laying there and I feel this trickle of water come down from the trach down my sternum right here at the top of my chest.
What?
And my mom didn't say anything to me. Now, also, when you can't vocalize, I figured out really quickly how to get people's attention
Okay.
if they weren't looking at me,
Okay.
because your vocal cords aren't necessary to click your tongue.
Yes, this is how my Sabrina
she
did
do
it in the hospital.
my gosh, I
Yeah,
know
she'd
this.
be like,
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
Uh-huh.
that
She's like,
sound.
oh, I know. It's like awful, right? It's bad
Yes.
memories for me too.
Yes,
yeah.
when you're on the other side and you
Because
hear
then
the
you're
little.
like, what's wrong? What's
Yeah.
wrong? Right?
Yes. Yes.
But it
that's
was
so
just
funny.
to get, I need to
You have
to
some
look at
way.
me
You
so
can't
I
vocalize.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
So I click and I mouth to my mom, something's running down my chest.
Uh-huh.
I can feel that. So she looks and she's like, oh, there's like they didn't dry it or whatever, some
Right.
saline running down my chest.
What?
And she was like,
Freaking
wow.
out. Yeah.
Wow. So she goes and tells the nurses, come in and see. And she said that, I didn't ask her, hey, can you feel
Can you
that
feel-
running down your
right.
chest?
Right.
I said it. I said, Mom, I can feel something. What's there?
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, wow.
That's so cool.
then they bring in, now I'm at the University of Utah,
Yeah.
medical student
Oh, central. Yeah,
Central.
true. There's always probably
so we have the
students.
doctors and then a whole crew of students that come in and observe and watch. And,
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
anyway, they come in and do the sharp dull, and they're like, oh well, let's see what she can feel.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing some testing, and I could feel some of it,
Okay.
not others. Like just
Yeah,
I couldn't.
nothing.
I admitted like nothing there. Okay, I can feel that. But they're like, okay, yeah, like maybe some little sensations coming back. So they believed me or they believed my mom after she's like, I didn't suggest it.
Yeah.
Right. So there was that. That started in critical care.
Okay.
And I was there for 2 weeks and then
Went down to the rehab unit.
got moved down to the rehab.
the rehab unit, and there they did the therapy. Nothing was coming back. Nothing. We had the opportunity to have a visit from a church leader, Elder Jeffrey R. Holland,
yeah.
came and visited us
Love
in the
him.
hospital and
Love him.
So sad
He's the
about his.
sweetest. I know.
gave us another blessing and prayer. And one of the things that life lessons that I still to this day will always remember, expressing our desires to our Heavenly Father. Like, this is what we desire. We desire that Abby has, regains this movement, full
He
movement.
didn't really say regain full movement.
He just said that she'll
Have
regain
a full and
functioning
happy life.
Oh,
Doing all the things she's ever desired.
And then he ended that
Love
by
that.
saying, "But nevertheless, thy will be done."
love that.
And I think in life, that's kind of the harder part is
Yeah.
being able to accept maybe the will of our Heavenly Father isn't that she doesn't get full. And maybe this is
Yeah.
the will that she gets what
Yeah.
she got.
yeah.
And for other people, they may not experience the same miracle.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people in that hospital room or that hospital rehab unit that weren't getting movement back
Yeah.
and things like that. And I don't think it was anything special that
we're
we
special.
did. And he just didn't,
sure.
he doesn't favor us over anybody
oh, for
else.
Sure. Yeah.
We were just that that mechanism that he used, because also in that blessing, he also said that, how did he phrase it?
that only good,
Good
would
will
be remembered from this experience.
Wow. From this horrible, tragic experience.
And
only
that
good.
would be only good would be remembered and felt from
So when we look back on it, a lot of our memories in the hospital were happy, were funny. I like to tease by nature.
Yeah.
And so
That's- Abby's like,
so
yeah.
shortly after this, her sensation had started to return and everything felt like pins and
it was
needles.
actually
Painful.
painful.
Yeah,
It was the
Sabrina's
nerve pain.
experience this.
Yeah.
It's that nerve pain,
Yeah.
but it's like
Stabbing.
good. It's like a good sign,
Yes, it
but
was
it's like
one of those-
horrible.
Yeah.
Because I was like, ow, but I can feel it. Ow.
But still no movement at all. I'm putting lotion on her feet because they hurt. And so I'm massaging her lotion. And all of a sudden her big toe on her left foot just goes like that. And I'm like,
I wasn't watching it.
she wasn't
I'm
watching. And I
TV.
said, did you do that? And she goes,
Do what?
do what? I said, your big toe just moved. And she goes, oh, you were doing the
Babinski,
Babinski reflex. I'm like, and I said, no, I promise I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it. See if you can move your big toe. And so she sat there for a second.
Like several seconds.
Like concentrating.
Yeah, and it was so weird because, and if you're watching, like test yourself, like move your foot, like you just do it
Yeah.
really fast, right?
Right.
It just goes.
Yeah.
You don't even really have to think about it. But I'm like, focused, looking down at the bottom of my bed at my feet, and I'm like, and that big toe went by itself, and we're like,
Oh my
we almost
gosh.
forgot how to speak. It's one of those,
Really?
like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
my gosh.
So within a matter of seconds, her
I
whole
go, wait,
left
wait.
foot was moving.
And I moved my foot at the ankle,
What?
and then
Just like that.
and
Just
yeah,
like that.
and he's like, I need to go tell somebody, and I'm like,
So
no,
then I
no,
got the
wait.
nurses.
I said, wait, and I moved my
whole
whole left
left
leg
leg.
at the hip,
What?
laying in my bed, wiggling
What?
my
Just all
left
of a sudden it comes back?
within seconds.
Within seconds, that one day.
What?
Just from trying. And I've thought about this since. Like,
Okay.
did I not try before that?
Right. Because they told you
What if
you can't.
Yeah,
So maybe
maybe-
you're just like, I can't.
It was him saying try.
Oh my God.
Like I'm like, what if I should have tried sooner? But
Well, and I think
know.
you have to remember though, with like you mentioned earlier, with a spinal cord injury, it's usually your big
from
muscle.
up,
It's your
Okay.
big
That
muscles
comes
that come back.
First,
And it's hers.
the
It was
top down.
her big toe.
it was the furthest from the injury.
And so her
my
her neuro
Surgeon.
not neurosurgeon, Dr. Swenson.
Oh my
your phys-
phys-
phys- I can't remember
Physical
what the term.
therapist or whatever?
No, he was a doctor.
Physiatrist.
The doctor over physical
Physiatrist is
therapy.
what he's
Okay.
called.
Whatever that term is. Couldn't explain it.
What?
He's like, this doesn't make any sense. There's no reason why your big toe should have been the first thing
that
that moved.
that came back.
It should have been like your arms,
Yeah.
your
Like your
big
shoulders
muscles.
and then your biceps.
And so,
Big muscles.
you
Because
know,
there's always room for a miracle.
there is.
I love that.
Yes, a huge one clear down at the bottom of my bed.
So
my
she could actually,
gosh.
once the movement started, it progressed up her
Up
left.
my left. But again, what was interesting is not even my bicep came first.
She could move her
I
fingers.
could move my finger, my fine
her
motor.
dexterity.
Weird.
Fine motor came first.
Weird.
Because I'd try to move my arm and my hand, and I'd put my hand in a fist like this on my stomach, and then I'd try to get those fingers out.
Yeah.
And no, unfortunately, the middle finger's the strongest, so that one came out first.
My daughter does
Did
too.
you?
Yes, totally.
That's what
Yeah,
I
that's a
feel
funny
about this whole thing.
Yes, for sure.
right?
Like you're gonna need this finger.
We're gonna, yeah. So, but I could get my fingers, and then they're moving, but I couldn't use them to reach up to my face and itch. Did she itch?
She couldn't move anything for a while because
and did
she
she-
lost.
yeah,
one
did
arm,
she tell
and then
you
she
I
had
have an itch?
Oh yeah,
And you're
all
having
the
to
time.
find it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. In fact, the Deseret News did an article on her, like a big spread, and it ended with, she's getting better, blah, 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 but she still can't scratch her nose. That was like the last thing. So when she could finally scratch her nose, like months later, I took a picture of it and sent it to the editor. I'm like, look at this. Yeah.
I know. I was so happy when I could finally scratch my own
These
itches.
things we take
Yeah.
for granted.
Right?
Well, I think they're all situations you have to find. Like we found humor
Totally.
Yes.
in it.
Yes.
So before she could start moving, I would like to take a
He'd wash my face.
Wash her face. And I'd
and then
leave
he'd
the towel.
Put the towel
Oh,
over
what
my
a
face.
brat.
I know, right? Get the towel off your face.
And a lot of people maybe looking into our situation were like, oh, that's like how
Rude.
No.
dare him. That's so
but you've
insensitive.
got to be like real, right?
Yeah.
But we do. That's who we were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we
So it
didn't
can't be so serious.
we
all the
didn't let
time.
that change.
Change
I love
us.
that.
He was already a tease. He
Yeah.
teased. Why would that change?
Yeah. It
Right?
kind of like lightens the heavy too.
does.
Like it's still us. It's still Cole and
Yeah.
Abby. We're still us. And don't you think? I mean, through my daughter's experience, I've gained such a belief that we really are these bodies. Like we know that. Like we know we're our spirit. We know we're our soul. But when you go through something like this and your body changes so much, or you lose so much function, you're like, that's not really who we are, though.
And that was kind of one of the bigger things, when people ask, why did you stay? Like, she's broken, different,
Yeah.
But it goes back to what you just said. In my mind, she was still Abby.
I was still me.
She was still Abby.
Yeah.
Her
I was
her physical
still-
body maybe have changed. Can't do the things that, I can't remember what it's like to have a 2-armed hug.
Oh, interesting.
Like that's one desire. Like I want to know what that feels like to have a 2-armed hug. Like my kids, they give us hugs, right? But
Yeah.
what does it feel like for
To hug
Abby
your wife.
to give me
Yeah.
a 2-armed bear hug?
You'll know someday.
Someday we will. And so she was just still Abby.
So did you guys feel like, it was a week before your wedding. Were you like, okay, everything's off the table, everything changed? Or could you see during this time in the hospital, like, okay, we're still going to be able to do this. We're still going to be able to have kids. Or was there a part of you that's like, that's all not going to come to pass anymore? You know what I mean? Like, what was your perspective on the future?
I'll say my perspective and then you can share yours. My perspective, I didn't feel like it was off the table. I think what we did, and maybe it was a little bit naivety on our part at the beginning, was we set these little goals. Like, okay,
Oh, that's cool.
we're going to get married in August.
Well, I remember my mom asking, so when do you want to change it to? And so remember, this is June.
Yeah.
And I did say August.
August.
Like 2 months
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, like totally
And
no
then,
idea
and then
how.
as that got closer, like, okay, that's not realistic. Let's go this way. And so we just kept setting these little goals.
To like November. I think we went to November.
And then one of the Dr. Swenson said, if something moves, we can strengthen it.
But we can't make something move.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
so every night when I left the hospital, I would say, show me something new tomorrow.
Oh, that's
And
so
that could have been
cute.
just these little
I mean,
things.
little things like
you breathe on your own.
getting the
Trach
getting
out.
off the ventilator, getting all the tubes out. I mean,
Oh,
right?
those are
So
huge
many
milestones.
tubes.
We went through the same
So many
one.
tubes.
I remember the first time Sabrina barely moved her finger, we were ecstatic.
Yeah, tiny but huge.
But it's improvement.
And it's like, I'm not, from the get-go when I could finally mouth words and all those students would come in and all the doctors, because I'm still me.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit
Stubborn.
Cole's like,
vocal,
ultimately.
right? Like,
Okay.
this is what I
Outspoken.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what I want. And that was really hard. I think partly the actor part of us too, and the expressive part, not being able to express my needs
I
or
can't even imagine.
answer questions before they moved this from my mouth to my neck. I had to answer yes or no questions, blink once for yes, two for no. And if it wasn't a yes or no question and I needed something specific, they got out this alphabet board and they'd point, did Sabrina do this? One letter at a time, and you're trying to blink
frustrating.
once for yes on the letter.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I forgot what I'm spelling,
Yeah.
and maybe it's not so important. Anyway, there was just so much of that. But going back to, and who I was, and like saying what I want, and those doctors would come in, I knew I would walk again. I knew I would walk, and they would say things, and I would, and make them look at me, and I would mouth the words,
I will walk.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Where did you get that from? Why was that in your heart?
I just
like they're telling you you're not going to, and why would you say you're going to?
My faith.
Okay.
Again, I knew I could have a miracle. I knew it. I didn't know what it would look like. Yes, my visual of that, and that is another huge thing I did, was major visualization.
Yeah.
Picture me walking, picture me getting up, picture me doing this.
Oh, I believe in that.
Picture me dancing, picture, I would visualize the Savior coming to me, laying his hands on my head, healing me. But I also had the faith that through, him, through these blessings, that it was
That
the
Jesus
same,
Christ
that
was healing
authority,
you.
right?
But it was also, I think, you have to acknowledge too that it was also the faith that it was his will
Yeah.
Yes.
that was going to be done.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It was
anything
that
that
his will
wasn't.
be done, but I'm like, you got to shoot for this. You kind of got to overshoot, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I will walk, and I didn't know what that would look like, but I was really confident in it.
Wow, that's just incredible.
And maybe, what if it didn't happen? It may have tested my faith even a little more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I would say I will walk. And I said it, and they'd kind of.
Yeah.
honey.
So every day they strengthened it.
Yeah. So when things moved, we would strengthen it.
And then
We
as it
would
got closer to
try-
her being discharged, there's a lot of things that
3
happened.
months worth of
3 months
stuff
worth
in
of
there,
stuff
right?
that happened in the
How long was
hospital.
Sabrina in?
She was in for 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So as it got closer to the end, and she was able to start, standing up
I was doing
and
physical therapy,
walking the
standing.
parallel bar, taking a step with the one leg.
Yes.
And as it got close to being discharged, she's like,
I was a week.
and holding her
Away.
to her word, where she's telling all these doctors, I will walk. Her thing was, I've got to walk out of the hospital.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yes, I told them I will walk, and I will walk out of the
the
hospital,
hospital.
not just walk.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
she's in the she's in the parallels. She's in the parallel bars one day with her physical therapist, and
And she was awesome.
She was awesome.
Really?
Had really
okay,
good-
shout out to healthcare workers.
shout out to healthcare
yes.
workers, and shout out
They're angels on earth.
Shout out to
occupational
positive healthcare.
therapy.
because
Yes.
they never shattered any of our dreams. I'm sure they probably sat there going,
At their lunch
They're
break.
crazy.
they're like,
these guys are crazy. Like
But,
they believe this,
Yeah.
but they never shattered that.
When
Yeah.
I said I
They
want
let
to
you
get
have
married
hope.
in August, they weren't like,
No, you're not.
no. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, let's work toward that, right?
Oh, I love
So,
that.
so they were awesome. So Anne's like, okay, if that's our goal, then
Yeah.
so let's start taking steps with your other leg.
I said,
Wow.
I said, Anne, because she's having me go back and forth with my left leg, holding onto the therapy bar. She's holding onto my hips.
Yeah.
They were super wobbly. And I just said, I got to take steps with my right. At that point, I could kind of wiggle my toes,
Okay.
It was coming up a little bit to, I could shrug my shoulder, do a little with that bigger muscle, whatever.
Yeah.
Sit up, do things. But I'm like, I have a week
Yeah.
till insurance says I have to leave the
For
hospital.
sure. Yes.
Right?
Of course.
Well,
Yes.
Anyway, till they say I have to leave,
That's
which is fine.
reality.
I need to get out of here, which is fine. So I'm going to get discharged in a week. I said I'd walk out of the hospital. Let's work on my right leg. She's like, okay.
gosh.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
She's strengthening my left because that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we tried in the parallel bars,
Yeah.
and it wasn't really working. That right foot was having a real struggle to.
Sure.
She's like, hold on, I'll be right back. So I sit down. She comes back, takes us out to the hallway, and she has this walker. Now I have a video of this, and so
Okay. You
hopefully
got to send it.
we'll send it. We'll
put
play
it on
this.
there.
So she brings this walker,
'Kay.
and it's got handles,
'Kay.
like an armrest to rest
right.
my arms, and I'm holding, and he physically puts this arm up there to try to hold on.
rest
and
it.
Well, they
forces
strap it on.
Yeah. Put my arm up there. So I'm holding on. Anne is on the little wheeled stool, right? Sitting
Guiding
in
her
front of
right
me.
leg.
And, holding on to my hips. I'm super wobbly.
Yeah.
Been a
Yeah.
little, yeah.
Well, and everything atrophies too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
not
you'll-
even the
you'll
injuries.
see,
but
like,
yeah.
I was so skinny.
Yeah.
But so we start.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the step with my left. My right one, I'm pulling it forward, and it wanted to cross in front of my left. So she keeps her foot, and you'll see this in the video, but
Yeah.
right between. And I'm taking these steps. And I'm taking these steps, and it's super slow. But I am. And
she's walking.
I'm walking.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that was really hard, and it took quite a while to get to, was to even stand up, sit up, first
Yeah.
of all, without feeling dizzy and wanting to pass out. You know, that when you
Yeah.
lay down for so long, your
Yeah.
blood pressure gets lazy.
Yeah.
And you sit up and it's like, I don't want to pump clear up there. And you
Totally.
start to get dizzy. So it took several tries of sitting up higher. We start inclined in the wheelchair and sit up higher. And then I'm like, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I had to learn to stand up. The tilt table. Did you
Yes.
do the tilt
she did
table?
the tilt table.
To get that to be able to just
Hate that
stand up, and
thing.
then I'm like, I'm going, and they tilt me back. You know.
Yeah.
So to be able to be upright long enough to do this, now I'm really pumping
Yeah.
stuff through my
Yeah.
legs, right?
haven't
And
forever.
I'm like, whew, and it wasn't very far. You can see in the video. How many feet do you think from that door?
20 feet at the most.
20, 30 feet maybe.
Yeah. That's
Down
amazing
the hall,
though.
right?
Yeah.
Several steps, and I'm walking. We get to the end of the hall, and you can see she's like, okay, now I'm going to let go. It's almost like no hands. She lets go of my hips. She's like, I want you to, stand.
Yeah.
So I'm like focusing on standing and not wobbling. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Finally, he was behind me with the wheelchair just in case,
Okay.
walks down the hall. And I'm like, I'm done. And I sit down, and you can just see this just like
Yeah.
relief in
Like
my
you just
face.
ran a marathon basically.
It was.
Yes.
And
for
I
sure.
say that. I totally say that. Like,
Yeah.
I was never a runner. Again, remember I did
Yes.
track for 2 seconds. I'm
Right.
like, I'm a dancer. That's my.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I ran a marathon.
Well, you did. Yeah. Your body
Now-
did.
The significant part to this was I have my angels, him behind me, my physical therapist, their angels helping me. But I'm not kidding when I say I felt strengthened by unseen
Really.
angels. And like taking that step was so hard.
Yeah.
But I just felt this. I knew they were there. Wow. I knew heaven was with me.
Wow. That's so cool.
In all the ways.
Yeah.
And I ran that marathon first and last.
Yeah.
Probably won't ever do it again
Yeah.
until the next life. And I
Yeah.
probably won't choose to do that. I will be dancing.
Yeah. Of course.
Right.
Yeah. It'll be awesome.
And then a week later,
And a week later,
Okay.
we did physical therapy all that week.
Sure.
And
she was
Again,
going
I
to
have
literally
video.
walk out of the hospital
I'm like,
And
they
so-
wheeled me to the door.
to the door.
Okay.
I brought the car within 20 feet
Okay.
of the door,
Yeah.
and she walked from the hospital door
to get
to
in
the
the car.
car.
Like by yourself?
No,
but at
with the
this
same
point-
walker.
Okay,
Same
with
the
walker, but she
same-
didn't have to.
But no, like,
my,
no-
my
She didn't have to
right
guide her
leg was
foot.
so much better. She was just kind of there with the gate belt, kind of just helping.
Like 1 week after the first
One
step.
Yeah.
week after the first
That's
steps,
a
and I
miracle.
walked to the car.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And so the goal, once we got out of that, you said earlier about these little goals we set. Did it change our perspective and things like that? And when are we going to get married? That was the biggest question.
Yeah, of
It's like
course.
when's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this going to happen? Because we knew that it was going to happen, and the question I always had was when.
Yeah.
And that's where it was all these little goals that we had. Okay, August. Okay, not August. November. Okay, not November. Then it's going to be. And so the goal after we left the hospital was, her goal was, I want to be able to walk out
I want to walk. I don't want to be in the
a
wheelchair.
chair to get married.
To get
I
married.
want to be able
Oh,
to.
yeah.
And I wanted it before
For
the
year
year
mark.
anniversary. So
Okay.
before June.
So-
and we were done with June. I wasn't
Yeah.
going to use June anymore
For sure.
my wedding.
So I
Yeah,
think
that's bad
the next
practice.
goal we set was the most realistic. Okay, May.
Okay.
So May of 1997, that was the goal.
Okay.
So from November or from September to May, that was the goal.
And I got out on
Yeah.
Friday, September the 13th.
Oh.
Friday the 13th. So I know a lot
Wow,
of people
that's kinda
have the
freaky.
superstitious, but now it's our lucky day.
Oh, that's cool.
When we have a Friday the 13th, I'm like, oh, it's a good,
Yeah.
we have a.
So you guys, I bet your wedding was like extra meaningful. I mean, it was probably like we have been through so much more to get here.
It was
right?
it was very cool.
It was.
The feeling was like we did it.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
We had made it. Life still, she still didn't have. I
was
think the
still doing
moment she has
physical
now,
therapy,
still doing physical therapy. So
but I
my
didn't have
takeaway
to use the
was
wheelchair.
just that we made
That
it.
was huge.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like, what a victory. Like, how cool that this didn't take you down, that
Yeah.
you're still going to do what you want to do. Okay, so fast forward. Here we are 30 years later. What has your life looked like? Tell us about your kids and your life. And
Another little miracle. We've had 4 kids,
yeah.
and to boot, we had twins.
Yes.
The
Okay.
babies.
So the twins, I remember hearing that you had twins or something. And I'm
Yeah.
like, she's like paralyzed
Are
on
you
one half
kidding?
of her body.
Yeah.
And she has twins?
So,
Yes.
our oldest Caleb is 26, or will be 26 here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Then we have a daughter, Taylor, and she's 23, and then our twins are 21.
Oh.
So we had
Four under the age of 4.5
with a mom that's
with one good arm.
one good arm.
Oh.
So again, the math ain't mathin'.
Ain't mathin'.
Yeah. And through a lot of things, but that one especially, I know God has a sense of humor. I'm like, funny, not funny.
We're gonna make you go through all this trial
Yeah.
and paralysis and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And by the way, now we're gonna give you twins.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things, we waited a while
Uh-huh.
for me to get strong enough to even start having kids.
Yeah.
So I was 23 when it happened. He
Mm-hmm.
was 21. Yeah, by the way, when you meet as missionaries,
Yes.
and
Oh,
back
true.
then we
Not-
were
not
older,
anymore.
Younger.
21
Yes.
and 19. And so I am 2 years
going
older.
for the
He
older women.
loves to point that out a lot.
That's awesome.
But so we waited. I was 27 when I had Caleb, and then 2 years later, Taylor, and we weren't quite ready yet. Just kind of thinking about it. Obviously, more than thinking about it, because all of a sudden,
Oh my gosh.
I was pregnant again. Wasn't quite ready. Just didn't know it would happen that soon.
Yeah.
And Taylor's like, I don't even know, 18 months when I found out it was twins.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was around Caleb's 4th birthday. And so that's actually when we announced it to everyone.
Okay. Oh,
We
cute.
got the pictures, the sonogram.
Uh-huh.
And, he's 4.
Yeah.
He's totally clueless, but I put the pictures of the ultrasound
Yeah.
on the back of, we bought 2 matching little baby keys, the little key
Cute.
toys.
Yeah.
And put a picture on both of them.
oh, cute.
And gave that to him as one of his gifts, which is a 4-year-old. He opens that and he's
What is
like,
that? Yeah. Cool black and white picture. Mom.
no, and
Thanks.
baby keys, like,
Right.
And I'm like, hey, go show everybody what's on the back. He was just 4. He's
Yeah.
clueless. I'm like, hey, everybody, just take a look at what's on the back.
Yeah.
I think we had told our parents. Did we? Or did they find
It
out
was
that
all
day?
a surprise.
It was all a surprise to everybody?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so
well, they knew I
fun.
was pregnant.
Yeah.
They knew I was pregnant, but they didn't know I was twins.
Twins.
So that's how we told everybody.
Oh,
and
that's so
they're
cute.
looking. They're like, okay, we know you're pregnant. Like, we're like,
Yeah.
take a closer look.
Yeah.
Baby A, baby B, so it was just, it was really
oh, that's
fun.
so fun. I love
Yeah.
it.
So, but yeah, we were still like, seriously. And I was, Taylor's birthday is August. I was due in October. So I'm like, phew, we made the
Yeah.
2-year mark for them to be
Right.
2 years apart, all of them. Well, they came 6 weeks early.
Oh.
So they were, Taylor turned 2 August 16th. They were born 4 days later on August 20th.
Oh my
so
gosh.
barely made it.
Yeah.
Barely made it. So
yeah,
Taylor's
that's
2 years
hilarious.
older. But they were early, and I just have to say,
Yeah.
back up to my appointment when I found out
Yeah.
that it
yeah.
was twins.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Were you dying?
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, let's be honest here. You know this. First pregnancy,
Yeah.
dad is all like, yeah, I'm going to this appointment.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a dad going with
For
you. Oh,
sure.
you okay, honey? Right. Second pregnancy, they go a couple appointments.
Right.
Third pregnancy is like, you got this, right?
Yeah. Like you're good.
You're good.
You're
yeah,
pro now.
pro.
Yeah.
So I'm by myself.
Oh.
By myself.
When you find out?
Yeah. And my doctor, because he actually was with us this whole, like he was my doctor before I got hurt.
Uh-huh.
Like premarital
okay.
doctor,
So
right?
he's been through it with you.
Yeah. So he knew the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did ultrasounds in his office. I didn't have to schedule them.
Nice.
So he did extras for me just to kind of keep track.
Yeah.
So it was pretty early
Okay.
that we found out.
Yeah.
And so he's doing this ultrasound and he's like, Abby, there are two. And my brain didn't go there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, 2 hands, 2 feet,
2
twos are
feet,
good.
2 eyes. Yeah.
Twos of things are good.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, there's 2 babies.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was right hormonal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I did the
Yeah.
full ugly cry.
Yeah.
I'm sobbing. And he's finishing up the ultrasound and he's kind of laughing because he knows
how crazy this is.
This
Yeah.
is crazy. And so I go, he's like, okay, come get yourself together. We'll go to my office. You can call Cole.
Oh my gosh.
So I call Cole.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the, I can barely talk kind of cry,
Yeah.
right? And later, the ladies at the office tell me, we're talking, and Cole says, I have to take this. It's Abby. She said, the doctor, he walks out. They're watching out the window of him pacing
Oh, funny.
up the sidewalk, and all of a sudden he plops down.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they're like, oh no, I wonder what's wrong, right? So you get the call.
That's
funny.
not necessarily accurate. I do need to correct because the office doesn't have windows out front. So
Okay.
Oh.
it was walking out in the gym area of the
That's
building. So. And then I go
hilarious.
I thought it was
outside.
over at the operations center.
No, and then I go outside and crash.
Okay,
Yeah.
but seriously, like if you looked at that day when the crash happens and everything changes and you're going to be quadriplegic, fast forward, you have 4 kids, you had
Right.
twins.
Right.
God is
Like
so
how?
good.
Yeah.
What?
So many miracles got us there.
And
It goes, for me in my mind, it goes back to that experience I had in the hospital that everything would be okay.
Yeah.
And everything has been okay.
Yeah.
Like our kids don't know what a normal mom is like.
I'm
Sure.
normal to that.
That's all.
But
yeah,
that's
of
all they
course.
know.
Of
And
course.
so when they were little, they had to learn intuitively to do things differently because mom can't pick you up with 2 arms.
Right.
So they would learn in the crib that they were backed up
They backed up.
so she could pick them up
When
with
they could,
So
they would back up to
cute.
me when they learned to walk.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
In the crib, they
cute.
didn't really learn
No.
it then, but I would roll them over and scoop them up
Yeah.
under their belly, right? So they weren't flipping backwards. I
Right.
scooped them up. I
And then
learned how to be a
cradle them too.
one-arm mom.
Yeah.
And I didn't dare carry them very far, very much. Like
Sure.
that was pretty rare.
But we
But
have
yeah, they learned, and they recognized they would go up to him with both arms, like a little
So they
kid does,
figured
pick
it
me
out.
up. But they'd come up to me and turn around so I could scoop them up and slide them up onto my lap because I
That's
wasn't
so
strong enough to even pick them up standing. You know,
Yeah.
I would sit down and then they'd come and I could hold them and cuddle
That's
them.
so cute.
and do
Do
all
we
those
need
things.
to change? We're good. Okay.
So, I
No,
mean,
but
all
we
of that
had-
are all of those things are miracles. I mean,
Absolutely, 100%. Like
The fact-
like A to B miracles.
the fact that we had 4 kids naturally, no,
Yeah.
well, they said I could. They're like,
said
you
you
know, spinal cord injury.
Yeah.
Women, you can still have children.
the
Sometimes
fact
it
that we
takes some
had
help.
4,
right.
You know,
the amount of help from earthly angels,
Yeah.
my mom, Abby's mom,
family, our whole families,
neighborhood friends
Yeah.
that were
ward
like when
members,
like when the
ward-
twins were
our
born.
congregation, our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
When the
Yeah.
twins were born, we didn't have to buy diapers for their first 9 months
I mean,
because our
people are
neighborhood
so
just
would
good.
show up.
at our
People
door.
are so
And
good.
so our kids it's normal
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had moments, right? That
They
I'm
want
sure
that
they've,
bear hug
like-
that mom
Oh,
can
sure.
give.
they've like what they see what the other moms can do, but they don't. They're not like
Right.
we got the bum end of the deal. They don't.
Right.
They don't act like it's that they were jilted
Yeah.
or
No,
Right.
you know in any way.
like our daughter's
they
favorite.
recognize it, but they're like,
Yeah.
This
It's
is what
just
our
they
mom
know.
does. That's what their mom does.
Yeah.
Our middle daughter, her favorite thing to do today
Now.
Yeah.
is when they leave, because she's married, and when they leave, her favorite thing to do with her mom is to
She dips me.
dips her.
She does?
She does.
She's tall.
She's taller than
so
Abby.
cute.
And she'll, I love hugs. I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
I make sure they all hug me. Sometimes I have to remind them, excuse me, come back and give me a hug.
love that, yes.
But she'll hug me, and this started out of the blue, like
Yeah.
a long time ago. But I'd hug her, and then she'd go.
Oh
and
my
she
gosh.
dips me down.
That's so
but
funny.
she's strong too, and I'm
Yeah, and you're
I'm not-
tiny.
yeah,
Yeah.
So and she just thought that was so dang funny because it catches me off guard.
Yeah.
and my face is like right.
That's so cute.
One time she did it in the kitchen. We both had socks on,
Oh no.
They both
and we
went
both
down.
You
slipped.
both fell?
Yeah, we both
Oh,
fell,
no.
and it's okay. But yeah,
so
they
funny.
But they kind of have these little things that they joke about.
Yeah.
Like that's a coping
It's just,
thing.
and every family has their little stuff, their little
Yeah.
quirk, their little whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a miracle that you were able to have them. It's a miracle that you're here in this cute whole family. Don't you wish, like that day in the hospital, God would just give you a little slideshow and be like, "Hey, this is coming. Don't worry about it."
Here's the outcome.
Yeah, I've always wished for that.
It would be nice, but I think the reason why we don't get that is because I think if we knew that, one, are we going to put in enough work to get to that?
Yeah.
Because I think He wants to see us. We got to put effort into
Right.
to life.
agree.
Effort.
Yeah,
Bad things are going to happen.
yeah,
None of us are immune from.
Plus, it would
bad
take
stuff.
away the faith
And I think it
aspect, right?
totally.
I think to me, it also takes away that joy
Yeah,
that
Of
you get
reaching it.
of reaching
Yeah.
that goal. We do a lot of hard things, whether it's tragedies, accidents like we experienced, and other things. If you could see the end, I sometimes
the
wonder
beginning.
from the beginning, would we have that joy that we have when we actually get
totally.
to that end?
You appreciate it so much
We
more.
appreciate it so
right?
much more because we've been through it.
It would kind of ruin the end of the movie. And to be
That's a
honest,
good point. Yeah.
that's
love-
one of his
I
things.
hate-
He's like, if I've seen a movie, he's like, "Okay, tell me what happens. Tell me what happened." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do it."
funny.
That's
You
my
like to
nature.
know.
I want to
Want
know
to
what's
know.
happening.
Funny.
And
And he
so,
wants to know how it ends
That's
because
so
right now
funny.
it doesn't seem good.
Yeah.
So, but we can't. Our life isn't a movie, and we can't rewind.
Right.
For sure, cannot rewind.
Yeah. And that's
Can't see the end. And the end is still. There's moments where we reach certain milestones, but we're still in this. We're still
100%.
on the path. We're
Yeah.
still progressing.
And
We still have ups and downs. We haven't just, somebody once said to my mom, because, my mom had breast cancer. My dad's had a couple of cancers. My mom then had a stroke almost 8 years ago. Then this coming up this March, she had another stroke and she passed. So, someone told her once, with so many things that are, our family, and I'm sure yours too, mine wasn't the only trial in my whole family. There were so many other things with my siblings and them and their health. And someone, I think it was when I found I was having twins, someone said, "Well, you guys have met your quota of trials.
Right.
Like, you can rest easy now. You've had enough." And my mom's like, "I don't think that's how it works.
Unfortunately.
Like, we are like,
Yeah.
have I got all my things?
Yep.
I'm
Did I reach
good."
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, it will continue. And I'm not naive enough to go, "Gosh, we've had so
good.
many things. We're good." I mean, this with having adult children too. Now you're like, okay, we're at the age and our kids are getting married. Like, we're a little older than my parents were when this happened to me, but still in that age of they're getting married, right? And they totally have things coming in their life. And
Yeah.
I hope and pray it's not this, or, I don't want them to have any of it. We don't want
course.
them
You
to
just
have
want them to
any
be
of
happy.
it.
Yeah.
You didn't know this hadn't, right?
Oh, of
No.
course. Yeah.
How was this going to be part of our
Right.
trials? But we know they're coming. And I think, again, having that basis, I go clear back to the Cokeville Miracle, and I had that. And then it builds, and you build more faith. And there are, again, instances where I think we have a little trial of our faith. Like, really? Like, I know I've experienced that this can be here. And then some people don't get their miracle.
Yeah.
And we experienced that as well, where at the same time I was in the hospital, a lady from Cokeville, she was one of my young women leaders, and a good friend of my mom's. Anyway, she got cancer pretty young, and she battled it for years. But at the same time, so 1996, she had a full, it all came back with a vengeance. And so she was actually at the U in the hospital the same time I was, and I got to go see her, and she passed shortly after that. They took her home and let her pass at home. And so from that, after the experience having Elder Jeffrey R. Holland, came, gave me a blessing. And there's a whole story to that. If you want, we can get into it later. But because of that, after I got out of the hospital, we were able to go see him and visit with him. And that's one of the questions we asked was, why does it seem like God answers some people's prayers and not others? There have been many people like Jan, this lady who died of cancer. Her family wanted her to live.
Totally.
They wanted her
They prayed
healed.
fervently.
They prayed. They were faithful.
Yeah.
So, why does it seem like we got a miracle? And I actually have kind of a survivor's guilt. Like,
Right. We got
so many people have broken their necks and don't get the return I've had. Why? Like, I feel guilty. Why does it seem like some get miracles and some don't? And we're expecting.
I'm excited. We're
He's an
sitting there. I'm certain
apostle. And he
gonna-
was new, right? So 96, he was just barely, not even like a year and a half in. And we're expecting some big, profound answer.
yeah.
And he said, we simply don't know. We don't know why, but our job, our responsibility is just to have faith that the outcome is God's will. So it goes back to his blessing, and that's what he said, and he taught it again. It's having faith in God's will.
Yeah.
And not letting, when the prayers aren't answered the way we think they should be, not letting that destroy our faith.
Yeah. Sabrina, when she was going through all this in the hospital, she actually taught me, she was like, Mom, it's not faith in the outcome, it's faith in Jesus Christ.
100%.
And,
Nailed it. Yeah,
when
spot
you
on.
have faith in Jesus Christ, come what may, right?
Yes.
And those are the core lessons. If you go look at our story and you compile all these little bits and pieces together, how we met as missionaries. We had that faith. We had these experiences with her dad coming into the ambulance with faith. We had, after the crash, first words were, "Will you pray?"
Oh, I love that.
And then we have had all these little things along the way, and they all tie back to those lessons that we learned one from Elder. I think he just
Reminded us
of those things that we already knew, but it goes back to just what you just said. It's our faith in our Savior, that no matter what comes, whatever we're dealt with, whether we're blessed with a miracle healing or not, but that faith is what's going to get us through. And that's just what's so comforting for me to know that he's
I love
there.
that.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect place to end, actually. I don't know how we can end better than that. That was so perfect. You guys, thank you so, so much for sharing your
you.
story. That's incredible. And I know it will bless so many people's lives and, give them so much comfort, because no matter what we go through, big or small, God is there. And we just have to reach up to him. So we're going to end with that. Remember, God is good. Jesus loves you, and the hand of heaven is always there for you. You just have to reach up for it, just like you guys did. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hand of heaven.
Make sure to follow Hand of Heaven, check the episode notes to connect, and if you've got a Hand of Heaven story, send it our way.
Hand of heaven.